In less than 24 hours from when I'm recording this video, the Wii U and 3DS online servers are going to be shut down permanently, removing online connectivity and effectively killing a bunch of games. But I think the most significant one that is going to be killed by this is Pokemon X and Y. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy T Flame, T Fuego, T Get It All Till I Can't Get No More. And man, when we talk about 3DS Online, there are no two games that were just more impactful, more just, I gotta say, took full advantage of online capabilities than Pokemon X and Y. These games are considered by a lot to be the easiest and worst Pokemon games ever. But if you talk to anyone that played these games when they came out in 2013, they will tell you how these are some of the biggest and most defining Pokemon games ever. When you talk about online community, the Pokemon community on YouTube took off with X and Y. X and Y, but like the Pokemon community exploded with X and Y. Pokemon content, Pokemon everything. This was like Pokemon Craze Part 2. And then the resurgence happened a few years later after that with Pokemon like Go. But in terms of like milestones in Pokemon history, these two games are it. And that comes down to the pure fact of the online capability. The online capability is what made these games the best Pokemon experiences ever. Period. These had the greatest online system called the PSS back in the day. If you ever heard, when people talk about X and Y, they will talk about the PSS. And when you look at today, right? Playing Pokemon X and Y today, you don't get the same online connectivity as you did back in 2013, right? So people who play Pokemon X and Y now don't get the 2013 experience. These games were different in 2013, 2014. They slowly started to die in 2015 and definitely really died in 2016 when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out. By died, I mean like became less popular. But like now, the fact that the online features are going to be gone, the ideal way to experience X and Y will be completely gone. Now, the ideal experience was playing it in 2013, but the parts that you could experience in 2013, the best parts of these games are going to be gone and dead, right? So let me clarify. I know I said these games died like 3 times, and the title of this video is saying these games are now dead, right? I specifically mean, I guess I should say, these games became less popular, and of course, as years go on and as new Pokemon games come out, these are going to lose popularity. But now, the biggest part of the game, the online, is gone, so you cannot experience X and Y the way it was meant to be experienced. That's the words I'm trying to, say, right? That's what how I'm trying to word it, I guess. But so anyway, if you want an idea of how big Pokemon X and Y was and how good the online was back in the day, you gotta watch videos of people playing Pokemon X and Y back in the day. You had Wonder Trading, which was trade a Pokemon randomly and get a random Pokemon back. You could do add friends directly. Let's say you battle someone randomly. After that battle, you could add them as a friend. No other Pokemon game had that feature other than X and Y. And you could make friends, right? And on the PSS, here's the layout, right? So as you see at the top, you got your friends, you got acquaintances, meaning these are people you've interacted with, either you battled them or traded with them, and you got passerbys, which is just random people, meaning that this was the easiest way to get in touch with other Pokemon fans. And you gotta keep in mind, not a lot of kids that play Pokemon like me, I didn't have access to like Pokemon forums, group chats, Discord wasn't really a thing, The best way to meet people that played Pokemon in X and Y was in X and Y, which is like, when you talk about meeting people now, playing like Fortnite, Call of Duty, public lobbies, it's easier to do in games now. But back in the day, this was not a thing. Especially with Nintendo, this was not a thing. And so the fact that you could easily make friends that you could battle with again and again in X and Y, which is the idea of Pokemon. You're supposed to catch them all, but not only that, like, the experiences, it's always been about interacting with other people. That's what the series was based on. The whole link cable when we first got it in the Game Boy games, right? And then it's Pokemon always being on handheld consoles is because it encourages interactions with other players. And X and Y just did that perfectly. And they never did it again after that, which is so, oh my god. As technology has gotten better, it's like the way to like connect with other Pokemon people that play Pokemon has gotten worse. Now, of course, we have ways of doing that, like Discord, Reddit. There's a lot of ways now, but that's outside of the game. Like games like Fortnite, you can connect with people that play Fortnite in Fortnite. You don't inherently have to go outside of Fortnite, right? Pokemon X and Y just doing that made it just different. I had friends that I met, well, I don't talk to anymore, but back in the day, you know, I was like 13 when this game came out, right? I know, guess how old I am? I'm 23. So that means when this game came out 10 years ago, I was 13. And, you know, when this game came out, I was in 7th grade. My first Pokemon game was Black and White, and I got that Black and White 2, which I got in 6th grade. So I was in 7th grade. I was like, what is that? 13? Yeah, 13. I just said my age. But I wasn't really allowed to have social media. I didn't have like my first smartphone till a few years later when I got to high school. And that's when I finally got Facebook. But even then, like in 2013, chats and everything were not as big. Social media was big, but it was not nearly the what it is today, right? So having the ability to meet people that also liked Pokemon rather than, you know, people at school, which I had a few friends that played Pokemon, but actually meeting people within the game, this was my Fortnite, right? So kids that meet other kids playing Fortnite now, Pokemon X and Y was my Fortnite. Just because I had the ability to like, and to connect with others. And, you know, X and Y now, of course, now that it doesn't have online connectivity, it is the easiest Pokemon game. Like, I'm not going to deny it's the easiest Pokemon game, right? But that's the thing. You're not experiencing it like you were supposed to be able to trade. You know, the main life of this game came after you beat it. Because then you could shiny hunt, you could raise Pokemon, you could, like, it's just the amount that you could do just with online. And not only that, one other thing about the online feature that was so cool was that when you had the little passerbys at the bottom, or just anyone you saw, right? They could have a little message pop up, right? And so this was cool because Pokemon people would be like, hey, I'm trading a legendary for Mewtwo. I'm looking for Mewtwo. Or shiny for legendary, legendary for shiny. This was like, and also back in the day, like in X and Y, PK Hex and things like that were not easily accessible. We did not have these cis spots. Wait. There we go. Okay, turn my mic back on. But, sorry, because I didn't want to sneeze into y'all's ears. But whoever said bless you, thank you. But, we did not have, what was I going to say? Yeah, we didn't have, like, Pokemon ginning and stuff like that. Getting fake Pokemon and hacked Pokemon weren't really a thing. In Black and White, it was easy because there was some GTS exploit. But in X and Y, you couldn't really hack as easily, right? Unless you knew somebody, right? So most people that were getting Pokemon had to get them legit. And, you know, a part of that was literally putting out a message saying, I'm looking for this Pokemon, right? And then you would get a trade request. Meaning, like, random people could send you a trade request, be like, all right, I'm about to trade you that, right? It was just, wow. Like, some of this stuff you would think if like, I mean, this was in 2013, right? We didn't have great online connectivity to games yet, right? That was mainly, like, I gotta say, when, like, the PS4 and stuff came out a few years later, type, right? When did PS4 come out? Wait, hold up. When did the PlayStation 4 come out?
November 15th, 2013, according to Wikipedia.
So this came out at the same time as X and Y. Alright, but still, the, like, games like Fortnite and stuff did not come out until later, right? Online connectivity and things like that were not nearly as great as it was in X and Y. And, you know, even though, of course, now if you boot up the game in the final hours of Pokemon X and Y, you, of course, there won't be nearly as many passerbys, because back in the day you would see passerbys just fly through, right? And then seeing all the characters lit on the bottom of your screen, that experience is something that was been done for a long time. But the fact that now it's like, even now, just the ability to wonder trade, I mean, obviously X and Y is not as popular as it was in 2013, right? But, you know, even though the experience like that I'm talking about, like the ability to do all these things has not been present for years, just the ability to just boot up the game and do a wonder trade being gone, and the fact that, you know, like any sort of resurgences are just not doable, right? It's not like we could be like, all right, we can blow up X and Y on social media and have one day where it goes crazy, right? Just the ability to do anything in X and Y being gone is just, it hurts, man. Like, obviously, like I said, being able to experience these games in their prime, that ship has long sailed. But now knowing that there will never be a chance to experience these things again, obviously you can't experience the prime Pokemon X and Y, but just the ability to experience an X and Y Wonder Trade and stuff like that being gone forever is just, it stings. It stings. And even as limited as these games are now, and as like the GTS is like full of hacked Pokemon and things like that, right? It's just, this is the end of an era. This is the end of, a lot of Pokemon YouTubers, right? All of the most popular ones, right? Talk about A Drive, talk about MNJ TV, one of my favorite ones, Num Nexus. Just talking about all of them, right? All of them will say great things about X and Y. All of them will. And it's just because, it was such an impactful game. As a 13-year-old booting up X and Y and watching Pokemon videos and wonder trading, hoping to maybe, when YouTubers used to do streams of wonder trading Pokemon, hoping I had the chance to, get the YouTuber. It's just, this was such an impactful part of my childhood. And X and Y, really, for anyone who experienced it in 2013, will tell you this was a very impactful game, pair of games. And, just to of course, Sun and Moon connectivity is going to, but the thing about Sun and Moon is that the connectivity on the game was so garbage anyway. The main fun from Sun and Moon is going to come from not even online, because it was just not great. Even though, so technically Sun and Moon is dead, but online connectivity is just, that's not a main feature of Sun and Moon. It's not. But with X and Y, with the games being, I guess, not the main fun you have with the game. Of course, your first playthrough is great, but then just the online and things, how big the online was for these games, that being gone, man, it's just, I had to do this video saying, giving my respects to X and Y, and, really just saying how much I really love these games, right? Even though Black 2 and White 2 is my favorite game and will continue to be my favorite game, right? In terms of experiences I've had, X and Y would be at the top. But I can never experience X and Y again. With Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, I can play through that game anytime and it'll be the same as I did when I was a kid. Except for, there was online features for Black 2 and White 2, but they were not defining features of that game. Unless, I guess, if you played the Dream World, but that's a whole nother thing. But just that, if I want an experience similar to Black 2 and White 2 when I first played it, I could easily do that. I could just replay the game. Although it won't be the exact same as the beginning, it's still just like, hey, I remember playing this game as a kid. With X and Y, you will never be able to experience it the same way and the way it was designed ever again, right? So, although I say this is my favorite Pokemon experience, in terms of games I want to play right now, X and Y, playing through it would be great for maybe nostalgia, remembering my first playthrough, but just not being able to just pop on Wonder Trade. It's just, these games aren't going to be the same. Like, people who play these games on emulators and things like that, they're not going to experience the game as it was played on the 3DS. And with online, these games are not the same anymore. They're not. They're just not going to be. And that's just, big respect. Every time, everything has a season, things change. You can't keep doing the same thing forever. everything is ephemeral. But the thing that is eternal that will live on is my just joy and the experiences I and millions of others have had with these games, man. But I know this got a little somber at the end, but I mean it's sad. I mean, it's a part of it is sad. But at the end of this video, because I'm done now getting through everything I wanted to say, we're going to do one last Wonder Trade on my dead 3DS. I need to plug this in, but we're gonna do a random Wonder Trade right now. Tell me, wait, I think this thing is still connected to my internet. I think, right? But anyway, guess what Pokemon you think we're gonna get? And we're about to trade right now. Now I will say this is my original copy of Pokemon X. I lost it a long time ago. So this is a copy of Pokemon Y. I believe I was doing like a Nuzlocke. Maybe I was doing a playthrough, but I shouldn't be that far into the game. Yeah. Oh, I literally at the first bit. This was a recent playthrough. I think I have another copy of Pokemon Y that's a little bit more complete. Let me look for that one. So I ended up not being able to find my original copy of Pokemon X. I mean, my other more completed copy of Pokemon Y. I wasn't able to find it, but damn, I'm going online for the first time. I think I was doing some beginning playthrough. I wonder if there are more people online because it's getting ready to end. Oh my god, I have friend code. Look at that! LF event. Looking for event Pokemon. Let me move my light. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hey. Bonjour. A lot of people on. This is the most time we've seen people on. I've seen people on in years. Oh, man. Oh, this is so cool to see. I remember, I haven't seen this, people moving, in a long time. And I haven't played with friends or acquaintances in such a long time. That's why both of these are empty. Wow. Wow. But this was some, I think, Nuzlocke I was doing. I have Lil Uzi. I think this must have been started, I think, maybe last year. Right? Let me click save. Last saved on, well, I saved right now. Let me look at my trainer ID. (5/27/2024). Yeah, no, I definitely probably, my date on my 3DS is messed up because it's the 27th of 2024 in May hasn't even happened yet, but let's Wonder Trade. Let's save, yeah. I don't know if I was doing a Nuzlocke or something, but yeah, comment down what Pokemon you think we're going to get. Oh my god, I'm going to miss this music. The green buttons. And Sun and Moon, it was blue. Bro, I have a whole ass Emboar with Pokerus. Oh, I was probably just using this to get Pokemon Pokerus. Mary J. Okay, so this is definitely probably like some Nuzlocke I was doing. Do I have any dead Pokemon? No. Okay. Because I would normally have a box, but let's trade out a Honedge. I can't trade out my Emboar just because Emboar is my favorite Pokemon. I can't let that one go, but my final Wonder Trade in X and Y. What? Okay. Maybe this is a sign I'm supposed to trade something else. Oh. Do I have to, like, reconnect to the internet now? Oh, I got completely disconnected from the internet. Okay. So, man, this is probably how you could tell the internet is, like, the internet's getting ready to go down because we're having issues connecting and stuff, man. Bro. Oh, this is taking a minute. Am I too late? Did I start recording this as soon as the servers died? No. Okay. No, we're still good. We're still good. Okay. Let's do this. I think everyone that has a 3DS has lost their stylus. If you still have your stylus with the 3DS, bro, you're crazy. Maybe we're not supposed to train out Honedge. Let's train out a Tyrant. Shout out to Tyrant, bro. This is I must have just revived this too. It's level 20. Come on, can we get a trade partner this time? Or was Wonder Trade already dead? Come on. Come on. Come on, let us do this Wonder Trade. Come on, there's gotta be... Hey, we got someone. Nice to meet you, Kitty. From the UK. little do you know, you're my last person in my life I will Wonder Trade with on Pokemon X and Y. That's crazy. Sending a Tyrant. Let's get a Caterpie or something. Some garbage. Yep. And you know what? You know what? I'm not mad. My final Wonder Trade being a Pidgey, this encapsulates Wonder Trade. You always get some Route 1 garbage. You almost always get a Pidgey or Fletchling. So having my last Pokemon ever I get on X and Y Wonder Trade being a Pidgey, I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. But let's save. Oh my god, now I have an acquaintance. Now I have an acquaintance. Trainer BR video. Man. That's crazy. Oh, look. Thank you so much, PSS. Oh my god, he's saying thank you so much, PSS. I thought that said PS5, man. And that's it. Thank you, Pokemon X and Y. Thank you, Pokemon Company, for making one of my favorite games of my childhood, you know. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Peace. Subscribe if you haven't liked the video.